I think a reactionary standpoint, I would say this. I'd say that we've probably been in situations that maybe we weren't put in at times last year early on, and we probably encompassed a much larger call sheet. And I think the guys have done a pretty good job, early on of getting in position to make plays. But there's some times where we've got to do a little bit better job of getting all on the same page. So if you take a play here or there out, outstanding, but you can't do that defensively. You got to be consistent and lining up and making sure everybody's on the same page. I think this last ball game, I was really impressed with how we played the first half with our starters. And then if you go back and do that thing you can't do, if you take out a play or two in that second half, I was really impressed with some of our backups as well. Getting in and performing at a level that impressed me. Would I like to be able to coach a technique a little bit better before some of those plays? Yes. And as we go on, I think this is a defense that will continue to get better and better. And we talk an awful lot about, last year's gone. This is just this year's team. There's guys that played for us last year that are gone. So let's make sure that we're moving forward right now and putting our own stamp on this year's defense for this season.
Great. And it's really interesting to see an outside linebacker the size of Malcolm Morrison. I think he's about 5'10", 190, even at the collegiate level. But he fits in perfectly in your 3-4 defense. But he came in 2018, his 2018 commit as a cornerback, defensive back. Can you talk about the transition that he has had to make from a defensive back to outside linebacker?
I don't think it's a big transition. I think that outside linebacker, for me, has been any number of different sizes, and the skill set that you possess has got to be one where you can play in space a little bit better than you can play in the box. And I think that's what Malcolm possesses. Whether he's 200-pound guy or whether he's a 240-pound guy, irrelevant. It's the guy that can give us a skill set that takes away different type of receivers and plays that they may want to go to out there to the field. And Malcolm does give us the ability to rush the passer. He's got great quickness, does a great job of timing up his blitzes, and takes great angles to the quarterback. And then he also does a really good job in coverage out there when we ask him to do that, whether he's lining up against a slot receiver, or if teams like to put a tight end out there and or go big, he can cover down on those guys as well. So just great versatility with Malcolm and what he gives us for our defense. And then, to be honest with you, I think we're starting to create a little bit more depth at that position as well. I think Jimmy Charlo is a guy that's really picking up from a technique standpoint and understanding how to fit in the defense. And then I think Darren McDonald has done some good things out there in previous games as well.
Great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Hey, Coach. Ken Kreitzer, SAL Radio. Good afternoon. I just wanted to ask you, Miami's played two different quarterbacks. Brett Gabbert, 2 games. A.J. Myers been in all 3 games. They've been passing for about 213 yards. What do you see in their quarterback play? Are they showing you 2 looks, or is there one quarterback you expect to play?
I don't really get into what the quarterbacks do as much as how we react defensively in our play calls. Just like last week, it could have been any number of guys that would have stepped up and played the quarterback position against us. And I thought the guys did a great job of adjusting to the plays that we were seeing out of the freshman quarterback. I thought the guys did a great job of without preparing for a specific quarterback, just reading, diagnosing plays, and playing fast. And that's what we got to do every week. So what plays that certain quarterbacks run may be a little bit different in some schemes, may be the same in others. So all we're going to do is call defenses that we feel like fit the certain situation, and just go from there. And I think the guys have done a nice job of that.
When you look at Miami, what do you look at as far as their running game? They've been getting about 167 yards a game. What do you see in the challenges in the running game?
I think generally we stop the run pretty well. Most teams that we play against, we hold them below their average in the run game, and I feel like if we can do that against Miami, we'll have a good shot at winning the football game. If they run the football successfully against us, then we'll be in some third and run or pass downs, and that from a balance standpoint, that gives the offense the advantage. So if we can do a good job stopping the run game and getting them behind in the sticks, I think we give ourselves a better opportunity to win.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Hey, Nate. Ken McMillan from The Record.
Hey, Ken.
Obviously in college football, you're going to face different teams in different weeks and different styles. How do you like the versatility of how your defenders match up with these teams?
I think we're still growing as a defense. I think that we match up in some areas a little better than others. And each day in practice, we get more and more reps. We get a little bit smarter, a little bit better at certain skill sets. And as long as I've been coaching, the defenses that continue to grow and continue to get better throughout the season, those were years that you were really happy with your season. Just like last year, I didn't think we're nearly as good at the beginning of the season as we were at the end, and that's a testament to a great group of guys that worked their rear ends off, trying to get better every week, and they did. They were playing their best football, I thought, by the end of the season. That's what we shoot for this year, and we've left ourselves some room for improvement in some areas, and we'll continue to improve in that. But if we're playing our best defense, at the end of the season and just getting better and better and better as we go, I think this will be a great season for us.
Can you give us an update on how you guys are doing health-wise on defense?
I don't think it's a whole lot different than we were probably banged up an awful lot during camp, and there's a lot of younger guys that we wanted to get more reps for during camp that didn't get those reps. Austin Hill was out with some injuries, early on, and he's catching up a little bit now with a position change from linebacker to defensive line, and trying to catch on to the nuances of a new position. Spencer Jones is a guy that was out a ton, during the spring and camp, and is coming back and catching up to the speed of the game and getting better and better. And there's others that have had some injuries that have been banged up and been out a little bit. But I think as we go into this ball game, we'll probably our defensive line is where we're trying to add more depth, and we'll probably need that this ball game, and still looking to add a little bit more depth at the secondary position for some of our packages. So to answer your question, we do have some guys that we got to take care of as far as injuries, and will they be available to us in this ball game? I don't know yet. We're still trying to see if if they're going to be healed enough to step in and play.
A corollary to that question, the fact that you guys played reserves practically the entire second half and even into the second quarter, are you a believer that getting these guys some time off the field and not banging each other will help you out? Do you feel like the team will be a little bit, quote, fresher this week?
I think it's a long season, and from one game to the next, it might make just an incremental difference, for guys as far as being fresh, but not as much as the long haul of the whole season. So being able to get more reps for defensive linemen who are hitting the hardest, the most number of times is my first priority. That's where I'd like to have the most depth that we can have. In the secondary, the more depth that you have, the more packages and things that you can do from a nickel or a dime or just different stuff like that gives you the ability to give quarterbacks different looks and try to do different things. So just we're working some things in practice that I think will give us a good chance. We'll see by today and tomorrow if some of those guys will be ready from a standpoint of injury.
And just one local question. Do you know how Terry Rafferty of Newburgh is doing? How you guys are using him and such?
Right now, is just still trying to catch up on some assignment, things like that. Working a little bit more with our scout team, and I love getting guys down there going against that offense, because there's a toughness that you develop going against that type of offense, and the speed that the offensive linemen come off the ball is outstanding. So being able to get off blocks quickly is something that whenever we get to rotate guys down there to that scout team and get looks against that offense, it's valuable to us. And I think that's something that he's putting under his belt right now and learning and getting better and better.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Nate.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good.
Hey, what have you seen in the play of corners Isaiah Morris and Cam Jones early in the season?
Well, I think they're doing a great job of what we're asking them to do. There's still some room for improvement at times, and you can see in practice there's glimpses of physical play. There's times where they're making some pass breakups and stuff like that. But just like everybody else, what we want is even more consistency in some of our techniques and finishing some plays. And those guys have given us some great looks, made some really good plays for us, and will continue to do so and continue to get better. So I really like those guys.
We'll do a few more questions.
Are you seeing that you have to game plan more for offenses noticing Andre a little bit more in the pass rush? Are you having to do a little bit more with him, or are you going to have to do a little bit more with him in these next few games?
I think Andre is a guy that is so versatile. You want to take advantage of as many talents and just a smart football player. He knows every position up front. On the defensive line and at the outside linebacker position for the dog, and then some of our other packages. He knows all the assignments for each one of those positions. So can he do all of that? Yes. Do we need to move him around a little bit? That just depends on what we got planned that week. And for Andre, I've said this before, I'll say it again. He's a guy that can drop in coverage really well, whether it's zone or playing some type of bracket on someone. And he's also a guy that can rush the passer really well. He probably would have had a few more sacks to his total if we'd done a little bit better job of developing our pass rush lanes to eliminate the quarterback from escaping. And we continue to work with that on our guys. And when we get better at that, I think you'll see even more sacks out of Andre. But can he move around in a number of different positions? Absolutely, no doubt. He's got the skill set to do it and the mental capacity to do it as well.